It's bound to happen. You'll be lining up the perfect shot with your Nexus 6, and someone will mock you for taking photos with your tablet, and you'll have to explain, "No, that's just my absurdly large phone with a nearly 6-inch display." Google's latest Nexus is downright unwieldy. It's impossible to use effectively with one hand, and I have large hands. It doesn't fit well in my pants pockets, and I have large pants. You can forget about taking it with you for a run, and yet, it's hard not to love. That's partially thanks to the top-shelf hardware and slick design of this Motorola-built phone, and partly because it's a showcase for stock Android Lollipop 5.0, which is far more elegant and usable than any previous version. But it's also true what the phablet lovers have been saying for the past couple years, that an oversized phone is too big at first, but after a while, it's hard to go back to anything smaller. The bigger displays just make these pocket computers more useful as, well, computers. And as our smartphones get more capable, it's increasingly appropriate to recognize that they're often our primary computing devices, and maybe a big screen is best. Is that a Nexus 6 inches your pocket? I'm not used to phablets, and the Nexus 6 is the phabletest of them all. It's about as tall as an iPhone 6 Plus, but a 1/4 inch wider. It's almost a 1/4 inch taller and wider than the Galaxy Note 4. It took me several days of constant use to come to grips with the downsides, the need to stuff it in my bag or jacket instead of my pants pocket, or to hold it with one hand while tapping with the other, even just to reach the back button in the lower left corner. What a drag! But with all the concessions you make in carrying around a phone apparently made for NBA players, you'll also come to rely on its benefits. A 6-inch, 2560 by 1440 screen is large and sharp enough to read web pages that aren't explicitly designed for mobile. Watching YouTube and Netflix becomes an immersive joy, rather than an exercise in how long you can maintain a squint. Typing accuracy goes way up. Games are easier to play, with larger tap targets and more visible area around your thumbs. A phone this big makes you start to feel, dare I say, productive. Even when you're just goofing off, you seem to be goofing off more efficiently. That huge chassis provides plenty of space for top-shelf hardware. That big AMOLED display is the star of the show. It's big, fairly bright, and very sharp. Colors are a little too saturated, and whites have a slightly greenish tinge to them. These are common problems to AMOLEDs, but the Nexus 6 seems to suffer from them to a smaller degree than most. Oddly enough, the screen size and resolution makes Android default to a 5x5 grid of icons, instead of the typical 4x4. The extra real estate is nice, but most Android widgets top out at 4 icons wide, so they don't fit the screen nicely. Even Google's apps don't have widgets 5 icons wide. The system-on-chip SoC is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 805 at 2.7 GHz with 3 GB of RAM. It's the fastest phone SoC available today, and it shows. Scrolling is smooth, multitasking is immediate, games run flawlessly. Give credit to the SoC for some of that performance, and the efficiency of Android Lollipop for the rest. Of particular note is the broad wireless compatibility of this phone. It supports more GSM, CDMA, and LTE bands than nearly any phone I can recall. It will be available subsidized from all 4 major US carriers, a first for a Nexus phone, and should work great overseas. Just a giant Moto X, only better and worse. The design of Google's giant Nexus is very clearly derived from the Moto X, as it is made in partnership with Motorola, now a Lenovo company. It has the same gently curved back that makes the phone feel thinner than it is, leading to tapered edges that improve grip. The front is a single piece of smooth Gorilla Glass 3 that is dominated by the display, with very small bezels surrounding it. The flat front glass is disturbed only by a pair of speakers above and below the display. That's right, stereo speakers. Combined with a large display, they make a huge improvement in your video watching and game playing experience. Google borrows more than just the shape of the Moto X. It cribbed a couple of that device's best features, too. Ambient display is similar to Moto Display. When a new notification comes in, or you pick up the phone, it lights up just enough pixels to show the notifications and time. It works great with Android Lollipop's new lock screen notifications, and won't kill your battery. Thanks to a power-efficient DSP chip, the phone is always listening for "OK Google," even if it's sitting on your desk with the screen off and locked. The feature isn't enabled by default, but once turned on it worked flawlessly and didn't have much of a negative impact on battery life, either. For all the similarities with Motorola's flagship phone, the Moto X still retains a few features for itself. While the Moto X has customizable backs and colors, the Nexus 6 only comes in midnight blue and white. The Moto X also has a greater array of voice commands, and gives you the ability to wave your hand over the phone to silence incoming calls. The camera hardware is better in the Nexus 6, but Motorola's camera app, while impressive, is still better than the lame Google camera app you get here. Stock Android so good, you'll forget about skin versions of Android. Samsung's TouchWiz, HTC's Sense and the like are not without merit. For years they have provided useful features simply not present in stock Android, at least, not without downloading a slew of apps to modify Android's look and behavior. With Android Lollipop 5.0, the version whose promotion is at the heart of the Nexus 6, you scarcely have a need to look beyond the built-in functions. For example, you now get complete lock screen notifications with the option to hide sensitive info, like email content. Notification priorities mimic the Do Not Disturb modes found in many manufacturers' Android overlays. The quick settings shade is more elegant and useful. Guest mode locks down your phone so your kids don't get a hold of personal stuff. And now you can pin a single screen so your friend doesn't start swiping all around your phone when you're trying to show him a picture. Decent camera hardware, terrible camera software. If there's a serious drawback to Google's beastly new phone, it's the camera. This is a Nexus, and that means stock Android, and that means Google's standard camera app. It's awful. Mind you, the Nexus 6 hardware is up to snuff. It's got a 13-megapixel Sony IMX214 sensor, f/2.0 lens, with optical image stabilization, and a dual LED flash. The resulting shots are quite good, and even the low light performance is a big step up from previous Nexus phones. With HDR+ mode enabled, you can get some really nice shots. Go big or go home. This is the finest Nexus device Google has ever produced. It has the fastest phone so see money can buy. It's got an enormous, extremely high-res display, stereo speakers, ambient display and always listening technologies, turbocharging, all in a very solid, classy body with an appealing design. It's also the most expensive Nexus phone yet. At $649, it cost hundreds more than the Nexus 5. The price isn't half bad, actually. Consider that other huge phones like Galaxy Note 4 and iPhone 6 Plus cost $100 more, and for that price the iPhone gives you half the storage. You get what you pay for. Your biggest fear about the Nexus 6 is probably its size. Frankly, it doesn't need to be so big, but you'll get used to it, and in time, you'll look at little 5-inch phones like they're toys. Your concern should be the camera. The hardware is there, but Google does not provide camera software worthy of it, and other developers have not yet stepped up to the plate. It's a shame to see such a lovely phone, and the best Nexus yet, tarnished by once again delivering a lackluster photo-taking experience. If you can live with that, or if you have faith that improved camera software is right around the corner, you'll find this to be the easiest Nexus phone to live with, despite or perhaps because of its staggering size. Thanks for watching New Tech channel. Stay tuned and subscribe for more videos.